Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning. Yes, again, the beautiful reminder that we get to choose. You get to choose. I get to choose. We all get to choose. And what is it that we get to choose? We get to choose how we're going to think. Now, grab onto that for just one moment. See, that right there will change everything in your life. Why? Well, because how you're thinking leads to a vibratory state. And that vibratory state, whatever it is the attractive force in your life. It determines the direction you go, what comes to you. It determines everything. And the sooner you grab onto that and use that power, because application's where it's at, the sooner the changes that you would love to happen will happen in your life. See, everything is fundamentally meaningless. Everything just is. Nothing is good or bad. It's our thinking that makes it so. And you're the one that has the power to choose whatever thoughts you want about anything. Think about that when it comes to your goal. So here you have a goal card. If you don't have one, I highly recommend that you do get one. With that being said, in terms of the goal card, does it have power? Not necessarily, but it does if you give it the meaning of importance in your life. If you fall in love with the idea, see, Bob Proctor would say that frequently. If you write it on a goal card, it must happen. But remember, he was saying that based on the assumption that you were one with the idea, that you were in love with it. Remember what was shared by Charles Haanel about attraction? The law of attraction is dependent on vibration. The law of vibration is dependent on the law of love. What you love, good or bad, puts you on to a frequency which then attracts outcomes. And see, this is the little secret, and this is what we're hoping that you get. See, this is why we do what we do, why we're sharing this information with you, because we want you to get this. We want you to understand that there is a hidden power in you that you can access, that you've always had access to, that you'll always be able to access. And that's done through thought. Now, with that being said, there's a line that maybe you have heard from Earl Nightingale. You become what you think about most of the time. And the word think is in there and it's related to thought. But with that being said, a question that I would like to ask you is what if that wasn't the whole truth? Now, this ties to everything that I'm sharing with you because we've heard that a lot, haven't we? We've heard it a lot in the personal development world, being fed to you again and again. You become what you think about most of the time. But again, what if that's not the whole truth? What if it's something else? Now, again, grab onto that because there's a lot of people who are thinking about something, about success, abundance, prosperity. Maybe that's been you thinking about happiness. Yet, isn't it interesting how most people, even though they're thinking about those things, they don't live that way? They're not experiencing that in their outcomes. Why? What's the reason? Well, because it's not about what you think about most of the time. It's about how you're thinking most of the time. See, that little shift, which is a deeper dive into the realm of cause and effect, will change everything for you if you'll consent to it and start thinking that way. See, it's not about what you think most of the time. It's about how you're thinking most of the time. And how you're thinking is rooted in what you believe to be true and the habits you have. See, it's about the tone. It's about the feeling that comes from what you believe to be true. See, that's what you manifest, not your vision board, not your goal card, not your affirmations. It's what you're connected to emotionally. And the sooner you grab onto that, oh my God, the sooner you will deliver the outcomes that you desire. So good, isn't it? Oh my gosh. All right, so we're going to go over what we went over on Friday. We're going to go over it again because it's really important. And I really hope that you do have this copy with you. And if you don't have a copy of the Master Key System, this version of it, just click on the link that we provide you and go ahead and get your copy at Amazon. But with that being said, make sure that you mark it up, okay? Don't leave it blank. And then most importantly, use it. Remember, knowledge is not power, information is not power. It's the implementation of the information that gives you the power, which then results in the change. All right, so let's go over this, shall we? Boom. Here we go. Okay, now here we're on page 241 again, and let's dive into this. Okay, we're talking about principles, and we're talking about demonstrating, or in other words, using them. Now, here he says, some will say, if these principles are true, why are we not demonstrating them? Why aren't we showing it in our results? It's frustrating, confusing, isn't it, if that's what's happening in your life? As the fundamental principle is obviously correct, why do we not get proper results? You remember what the answer was? We do. We do get proper results. See, the results that you're getting right now are exactly the results you're supposed to be getting based on your level of consciousness, based on what your awareness is, which is what your character is, which is what you believe to be true about yourself and the habits you have, which are the patterns that are rooted in you. We do. You are getting the right results. You are demonstrating everything that's being shared with you here. There's nothing wrong with you. Type that in the comments. There's nothing wrong with me. A lot of people think, oh, there's something wrong with me. No, I got news for you. There's not. I remember when I went through a lot of anxiety in my past. I sent myself to the hospital 10 times because I thought I was going to die. That anxiety, I didn't know at the time, was caused because there was a lot of fear. And a lot of people think that fear is what stops them. That's not true. It's what's beneath the fear that stops you. But with that being said, I had a lot of fear, which was expressing as anxiety because that's what happens when you have fear in your life. With that being said, the fear was caused by worry and doubt. See, it was the worry and doubt that I was emotionally involved with, which then manifested in terms of the outcomes. See, if your mental state is locked into worry, doubt, proving, whatever it is, that's what you're going to manifest. You're not going to manifest what you're writing down if it's just something that's intellectual. It's going to be based from what's in your heart. Have you heard this line? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. As you thinketh based on what you believe to be true. See, that's where it's at. And the habits you have, of which your beliefs and habits are what you have made important, either knowingly or unknowingly. See, that's what externalizes in outcomes. And what's beautiful is if you don't like it, you can change it. Why? Because you can think what you please. You can think whatever you want to think. And if to think is to form, you can form what you please. So again, we do demonstrate these principles. We get results in exact accordance with our understanding of the law and our ability to make the proper application, the proper use of it. We secured no results from the laws governing electricity until someone formulated the law and showed us how to what? To apply it. This is why, with every single one of these calls, I close with, all right, so what's the golden rule? And what is it? It's application, baby. That's what it is. Without application of the information, you will not receive the change that you seek. And this is what we're